Welcome again to this month of mindfulness, and we're going to take a little time today to keep with this attitude of being open and focused on the present time as we tangle a wee tile today, a little mono-tangle, using the cute little maze type tangle called Printemps. Printemps is the French word for spring, and it is a tangle that you can fill a whole section or space no matter what its size or shape. So if you're working on a little tile today, or perhaps in a little journal, you can simply draw your section and we'll use that, whatever shape it might be, to fill in your little spirals. Now there are 4 ways to draw a spiral. So pick up your pen very carefully and we'll just have a wee go here. So we might, for example, choose to start on the inside and draw a spiral that heads out, stopping when I hit that section edge. Or you might choose to start on the outside and slowly work your way in. You can go clockwise or you can go anti-clockwise. And finally, so have another go. See if one of them is slightly more natural to you. Always take a little bit of time and have a little practice somewhere. Just concentrating on that pen at the moment. I advise you not to draw too small either, but just concentrate on taking your pen around and around. What you can also do is add something called adding a little bit of sparkle. And this is when you're just concentrating on your line and you just have a stop, pause, lift your pen over, just leave a little gap. And as we come round, I'm going to practice a little bit of drawing behind there. You can see on the wee spiral I've created a little bit of sparkle, a little reflection. So I invite you now, at your present moment, to have a look at this tile here. It's got a few different versions of Printemps. It has a lot of variety, and I just want to illustrate it, to just use it to illustrate the point that all of these spirals are correct. None of them are wrong. There is no judgment made on any of these spirals. So whether they're a little bit O-shaped, whether they have a little bit of dot sparkle, whether they have some heavy weighting on the lines, perhaps we've added drama to the background, perhaps they're organised in rows, perhaps they're a bit higgledy-piggledy. All of those Printemps are there with no judgment made on any of them, and there is no pressure that your spiral looks like mine. It's only an intention, here and now, to fill your sections with spirals. So go steady and gently, with that simple commitment to intend to fill. So I will just pop my pen down for a moment and I will just first of all add my border. If you know about Zentangle, you'll be popping on your corner dots and then your border. I want to play with my little hexagon tile today, so my border is going to have a very obvious outline, and I'm going to use this hexagon as my section to fill. Once I have my section, I will start to pop in my little spirals. I might choose to just start near one edge, and I'm going to start in the middle with a little bit of extra ink, and then I'm slowly going to aura the line. You're already using the aura of what the line is there before, with which to slowly build my spirals up. There's no need to rush, but I might just add those little pauses in my line and create a little bit of sparkle as we go. You can either choose to butt up your little spirals beside each other, each time joining on, or you can choose to overlap them. I'm just going a little bit heavier as I start. Pop in my pause, lift my pen over, pop it back down the other side. And this time, the sweet spiral just overlaps the previous one. Don't worry about what it looks like. Your spirals may all well be different. And that's absolutely fine. We're going to use our pencil line to guide us where we need to stop. However, do remember that it is in pencil. So if you go over it slightly, it's no problem. Enjoy watching the ink coming out of your pen, slowly beginning to add this pattern onto the paper. You can just feel the word spring popping out of your tile. Take your time. There's no rush. You can change the size and the scale. You might choose to do some really small spirals, or some spirals that are quite neat and tidy and close together. Or you might choose to open up a little bit and go quite wide and wiggly with your spirals. Again, I'm just using the pencil line to guide me where I need to stop. Enjoy the sensation of the pen slowly adding those spiral lines onto your section. Perhaps tucking them in underneath each other, or perhaps butting them up against the next one. I find it easier to start in the middle and slowly increase the size of my spirals, but you might find it easier to do it the other way and work your way slowly in. Both of these methods are correct. You just need to work out which one suits your style better. Not thinking about where we have to draw these spirals, just slowly finishing the section. And once you have your spirals in, you have options to use your section line if you want to. If it's already there, just tuck your spirals in. I might tuck some of them, but perhaps not all of them. And once you have your spirals on, and you're finished with your pen, just have a wee play with your shading. You might choose, where you had a little bit of sparkle, to just pop a little grit of graphite just beside the open area. When you have an area with no pen, sometimes it can be quite effective to just add a little bit of graphite at that point, and then use your blending tool to gently pull the graphite away. Or you might choose, where you have an overlap of some of these tangles, just to pop a bit of shading in as if it was a lovely shadow. Just one wee Printemps on top of another. Sometimes with your blending tool you'll find there's enough graphite on it that you don't need to add any more pencil. And you might also choose to just pop in a little bit of extra pen work, a little bit of drama along the bottom perhaps, or around the edges, just to sink and give a deep depth to where those spirals, those wee printemps are sitting. Remember that spiral can have lots of different styles. None are wrong. Don't take too long to decide though. Just choose and let your pen go. Draw that one, or maybe a couple. Remember, you can always do another style next time. Once you think you have finished, I might just add a little bit more drama in these two corners, these two angles. Don't necessarily need to press very hard with your pen, just enough to get that flow out of the pen and the flow into your artwork. And once you've done, add your chalk, your little mark to say that this was your piece. And then rotate. Have a look and see how different it looks from one side, to another. I think I just need a little bit of shading behind here. Just these ones that are just poking out behind. And once you think you've done the shading that you want to do, just admire your little work, your little tile. However you've chosen to do it. Here's a couple of other options. Here's one where I stacked and added some drama in behind. Then I overlapped my Printemps, and I even had some floating away. In this one, I've just gone in concentric circles. I started on the outside, I did a second layer, and then I did the final one in the middle. And I've shaded in exactly the same way. So here, however much fun and quiet and options you've done with Printemps today, I hope you've had fun on day 4.